Alright, students, this video is going to go over the activity in Desmos called MarbleSlides with parabolas. So here's what we do. Click on that. Make sure to either sign in, or if you continue without signing in, please put your first and your last name. Just easier for the, if I can alphabetize them for the grade book. Let's do that. Okay, so not much to do here. Make sure to read everything. So over here it says, here's the goal, get all the stars, get to know the parabolas. Click launch to see what we mean. And so it goes like that, and you hit all the stars. So what you're seeing here is, these are parts of a parabola. This is sort of a full parabola with the middle missing. This is sort of half of a parabola stopping at the vertex right there. Alright, so that's what it does. Success. Alright, next one. Uh-oh. The marbles are all going to catch here because our parabola is inverted. We actually want to go in that other direction. Now, what it says over here, take a look. Change the sign of one number in the row below to fix them. So you only have to change one of them, and you only change the sign. So let's say, okay, change the sign. I think what they mean is -2, change it to +2. Okay, that moved it. And we know that because inside next to the X is a horizontal or an X direction translation. So that was not it. We can go like this. We can go undo, or there's undo. Okay, that's what it was originally. I think there's a reset too. But anyways, you can click undo to get back the original. Originally it was minus. So let's go back to there. If we put a minus here, it shifts the whole parabola down. That's not what we want to do. So let's change that back to a plus. Let's do this, and I knew this all along, but let's just, well, you can change this as many times as you want, but if we put the negative here, a negative there is what turns the parabola upside down. And now, we have success. That's the goal. Excuse me. There it is. I knew there was a reset button. If you have too much fun, you want to reset your marble slide screen. That really helps in case you change too much and you don't remember what to put back. Okay, so take a look at this one. When we hit launch here, we have a parabola, but it's not in the right location. I need to move this parabola over a little bit. Okay, and let's start with that. We want to move it over so it's about right around here. So it's at 4, and you can see that because there's a 4 right there. It's at 4. Let's move it over to about 1, maybe. Let's say about 1. So I'm going to change that 4 to a 1, and now it's over there. I was like, okay. Okay. So now the issue is this. Our parabola goes too far. I want to cut this parabola off. I want to cut it off right around here. So that's 1, 2, 3. We want to cut it off right around 2. At around x equals 2, we want to cut that parabola off. So on this equation bar, I can put space here. This is the equation. This is the domain. And so, I said 2, not 1. So if I change the domain like that, I can say, okay, let's go see if that does it. Okay, so we're almost there. We're sort of getting it. Okay, so we're going to have to play around with this a little more. It takes a little bit of a trial and error. I think what I want to do is I actually want to shift the whole parabola down a little bit. So shifting it down, instead of being a +2, I'm going to change that to a +1. We'll try it again. Oh, we're getting there. Okay, so it takes some trial and error. It's not easy. I'm going to change that back. So, oh, what did I do? I meant to put that as a 2. Okay, there we go. I'm going to move this back over here. Instead of 1, I'm going to put 1.5. That might get me a little bit better. There we go. Almost got it. I'm sorry about that. I should pause the microphone before I do that. There we go. So we almost got it. See if you can curve the parabola a little bit more and you can catch more. So let's change this all the way to 2.5. See how good that gets us. No, that's a little bit too much. So, yeah, it does take a little bit of trial and error here. We're almost there. Okay. If you wanted to, What we can also do is, if we wanted to, we could put another parabola around here. Let's go ahead and do that, because why not? There's no rule saying you can't use the next line. So let's go ahead and put a next line. That's going to be a negative parabola, so a negative x squared. But then I want to move it over, so I'm going to put a minus. I want to move it over to around here, around 6. Oh, and then I need to move it up a little bit. Okay, so up about 1, 2, 3, maybe. So put a plus 3 at the end. And let's try that. See if that helps. Oh, we almost hit it. We almost hit it. Let's do one more thing here. Let's widen this red parabola a little bit. And the way we widen is by putting a number in front. So again, the number in front makes it wider or skinnier. The number next to x changes the x. It moves it left or right. And the final number affects the y. The final outside number affects the y, how high it is. So we can do that kind of stuff, and this one's really taken us a while to get it. Oh, we almost got it. Let's try and widen this a little bit more. And let's raise it up a little bit more. I usually get these a little faster. I'm not sure why this one's taking so long. We'll just call this one done. We're going to go ahead and skip by it. Don't worry if you don't get all the stars. You get the idea. So, change 2 numbers here. What we want to do, the idea here, the idea is you want to move that thing over. So we definitely need to move it over. Okay. But the other thing is, so we want to move it over. Right now it's about 2. We want to move it over probably so this parabola is like that. Okay, that's what I'm guessing. Something like that. I want to move it over here to about 7. So I'm going to have to change that to a 7. And then this now, we're going to need it to show more of the graph. That's right there, that part's the domain. So let's go ahead and do that one thing at a time here. Let's first space this thing out. Do like that. And then we're going to shift it over. I think I said 7. You notice, oh, this doesn't show the whole thing. That's because our graph cuts off right there at 4.5. We want our graph to go, we moved it over to 7. We want to go show it all the way up to like 9. Okay. What I mean there is we move the original graph over, and the x values, we want to show this much of the graph. Sorry, up to right around there. That's why I put a 9. It says show me all the graph up to 9 and then stop my graph. That's what that part of this means. This is domain. And then this is your function. So that's telling you how much of the graph to show. Show me only up till 9. And I don't think this is going to get it. We're a little bit too long. 9 was a little too far, so let's try 8. There we go. That's what you want to see. And that's how these things should go. They should go a little bit faster. The last screen, I don't know. We have some problems on that. So change, try and read the instructions. It says change 2 numbers. If you forget, you can go back to reset. But it tries to tell you that you only don't change everything. Yeah. Let's take a look at one more screen. Change 1 number. Okay, let's see what it does first. Okay, so it's going too fast. So logically, I have to think about this. I want this thing to extend a little bit more. Instead of ending the graph there, I want to end it right around here, around 4 probably. So instead of ending at 2.4, I want to end it at 4. So I got to change that number right there. Let's see if that does it for us. Does that make sense? We're only showing the graph until 2.4 because this graph goes forever. It's a never-ending graph. We're telling it where to cut off the graph. That's what domain does. It tells you where to chop off the graph. How much of it to show. Okay. Or think of it, domain is also sort of like, it's like if X is a timeline, think of it in like video editing terms. If you only want to show the first 4 seconds of a video, you say, hey, only show me from here up till a 4. All right, I think that the 4 was a little bit too long. It gets trapped in there. So just again, you're gonna have to try a couple times. Try not to get frustrated with this thing. Once you get it, it's like that. It's kind of fun to see it go success. And they sort of get more and more challenging. So take some time, make sure you understand the whole idea here. The whole idea is this. Each one of these numbers changes one thing. If you change all three of them, it gets confusing. So change one thing at a time and say, okay, I changed that number. What did the graph do? I changed that 2 to a 5. What does the graph do? I changed that 3 to a 7. What does the graph do? And so try and take your time to see what each individual change does. And little by little, you'll get it. Work together with other people if you're in class right now, or come see me after class during break at some point. We'll go over this, okay, and try and help you out. Try not to get frustrated. Try to have some fun with it, and just follow their instructions. And if, like I said, if you wanted to, you can put a second parabola in here. You can put more and more lines of equations, as many as you want. You can put straight lines if you want to use straight lines equations. Anything you want to do, honestly, get creative with it if you remember how to do some of that stuff from Math 2. That's what I want to see with these assignments. Thanks for watching the video. I should be back in class on Friday, and I'll see you then. All right, take care, everyone.